they talking about everything we talking about. They talking about sex like it ain't nothing. They talking about, everything we talking about, they talking about it in the opposite way. So it's like
there's no difference.
Yeah. And the crazy part is because and I've been hearing this a lot. It's like a lot of people been saying the men are like, changing roles, and the men are the new women. That's what they're saying and shit. So it's like, I'm sorry, can I curse? Oh, okay. Yeah. So they're saying like men are the new women, and they're emotional now, and that's what I've been hearing. But yeah, like this generation is just crazy. It's just twisted.
Yeah, I take joy in being a positive, good-spirited person. It just feels better. It takes a lot of effort to have an attitude, and it takes the choice, because I think it's a choice to pick up that baggage and walk around with a nasty attitude. And I have got into like discussions with other black women, and when they say don't make me get black, I get offended because that's not the definition of black. The definition of black is not nasty attitudes. That's not definition of black.
But
black is strong,
but is it
powerful?
But is it though? See, that's the thing. I've been noticing this a lot lately. I feel like a lot of black women, majority women, are like, saying like what you just said, like we're powerful and strong and all that. But are we though, or are we just saying that just to uplift each other? Because what we've been showing, it hasn't been that.
Facts.
Like, just like the topic, it's like having an attitude all the time is not a strong thing. That's not like showing that you're strong. Being strong is, defeating that, like, to overcome the urge to have an attitude, like to defeat that, to basically say, what, this person is an asshole, but I'm gonna keep a smile on my face, and I'm gonna keep, being professional. You know how many people then lost their jobs because they couldn't, hold back their inner person, which is black, their inner black. They couldn't keep their job because they just had to say, who you talking to, bitch? Because a customer says some smart shit. Customers are gonna be smart. They're not the one that's working. You are. Like, they're gonna be smart. A lot of people test you just because they know you at work. I mean, they know you can't jump over this counter and beat their ass. They know you can't do that. So they're gonna test you now. Are you gonna be the weak one and jump over that counter and whip their ass? Or are you gonna be strong? And there's a lot of people that then jumped over the counter with their ass. I didn't seen it on World Star, all that type of stuff. People fighting at McDonald's, so it's like we have a bad record of. Yeah, so it's like sometimes I hear people saying that we're strong and we're like, they just we call to the fact that lately I've been hearing a lot of people saying queens and stuff like that lately, and it's like these are all things that we're saying just to uplift each other, but the world looked down on us for a reason. It's because of the way we carry ourselves. I'm not saying that nothing that happens to us is is deserved, but as far as we could start, we could start from one thing. We could start from just the attitude. We could just eliminate that. Just wake up every day. I think that's the solution. The solution is to just like to wake up every day. Try to be a better person every single day. That's it. It's just as simple as that. What you think?
No, I agree. I agree. There are steps to it coming out of, but I think that it's easy. I think it come with social acceptance too, because you got to realize it's not cute. It's not cute and it's not decent. And as long as you want to be with, say, a black man or any other race as a female, that's not going to fly with a man that has a leadership role and he's trying to be a certain way, you know, in his own personal life. It's not going to fly. So knowing that, you got to conduct yourself a certain way. It's just like if you go to church or if you go to work, it's a certain attitude, disposition you choose to have when you're at those places. When you're talking to your mom versus talking to everybody else, you choose to talk to your mom a certain way compared to the rest of the world. And so when it comes to somebody of the opposite sex, you should have the same attitude. Like my dad raised me, like, you don't face off with a man. You don't be in a man's face. You don't face off with a man. You are not his equal on any terms. Even if y'all close in height, you are not his equal. His hands is bigger than you. His voice is stronger than you. And 20 times out of 20 can lift more than you. You know what I mean? So it's just like knowing that you got to conduct yourself in a way that is appealing to the person you want to be with or the person that you want to interact with. Because no man, even on a work level, when it comes to completing projects, he's not going to want to go toe-to-toe with a woman that's argumentative and combative every time you turn around. He want to go with a team player. So knowing that, you still, even in the workforce, you got to operate yourself in a more delicate way. There is a strength in being submissive. There is a strength in being positive and being open, and there is a strength in it. And I feel like Kadeem said, we have switched the labels. We have switched the labels, and that girl that jumps over the counter to jack up the guy or the girl that was disrespectful to them, we have labeled that as strength, but that's actually weak. And then the weak, the strength we have labeled as weak. Oh, no, you being corny. No. You know what I mean? I'm being beneficial to me, not only just me, but everybody around me. So it becomes a strong suit in that way. So I definitely think it takes the little steps of waking up in the morning and just choosing. You choose everything else. You choose everything else so you could choose to be this and relabel it. It's not black. By having, as a female, an attitude. That's not black. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel.
You know what I think? I think, you know, that's the reason why we don't have a woman as a president to this day. Because women can't control their emotions.
A lot of women.
Yeah, a lot of women can't control their emotions. They can't, you know. Yeah. You guys are petty at nature. Like you just like, you know, like born petty. So, you know, you will make decisions as a woman. Well, we need decisions as men. That's you know, we think a little different. We're a little more logical, and you guys are a little more emotional, and the world knows that. So that's why, you know, there hasn't been a female president. You know, because to be honest, I actually think women are smarter than men. I actually do think that. Like, majority of women are more smarter than men. You know, but what takes away from you guys' smartness is your emotions. So you might be smarter, but you don't think right when you're emotional. Just like in a relationship, you know, the problem will be right in front of your face, but a woman can't figure it out. no matter how much we tell y'all what's the problem, your emotions or how I reacted to the problem is what you're worried about instead of the problem. You're worried about how I done yelled at you or how I done disrespect you instead of noticing the fact that, the problem was way worse than, what I did. There's a cause and effect for everything. So you guys be so into your, emotions that you don't even see the problem in the first place.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. But it takes one thing that helped me, and I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual, is the Bible. And I knew whatever my mom was capable of being, I knew I was capable of being. So having an attitude and everything and being quick with the tongue, I saw it through life long enough to know that, okay, I'm not a so perfect person. So I started doing dissecting scriptures on a daily basis, or be slow to speak, quick to anger. If you can control the mouth, then you can control the whole body. Like a horse is harnessed by their mouth, and you can control them. So can a person that controls their mouth can control their whole body, and it's true. Whether you cling to it or you don't, whether you believe in God or you don't, it's principles in the Bible that can make you a very successful person when it comes to communication and interacting with people. Because if a man is irate and he's upset, you give him a reflection of him and you pose that attitude, all y'all do is hear each other's attitude and you miss the message. Mm-hmm. But if you take in what he say and say, okay, clearly he's upset. Clearly something brought him to this point.
There we go.
What is it? And then just slow it down a little bit and listen. Mm-hmm. And then maybe say, okay, that I understand you are upset and I get it. And then see the source of it. And I'm saying that all this might sound corny, but what you'll find in life is a lot of things that are corny are beneficial. They really are. We just have mislabeled them. And after you sit there and be quiet for a second and realize silence is a position of power, you start listening to what he's saying and say, okay, so this is the message behind his anger. And you reiterate it back to him. You give it back to him saying, oh, okay, so you want this done, or this is upsetting, or this. And then once you do that, then you can respond and say, okay.
And don't respond by saying, well, you do this. Well, what about when you did that? Like, that's always the go-to. Yeah, it's always, well, what about you? Like, we're not talking about me right now, Wait till you have a problem with me to talk about me. But right now, the problem is you. So, that's how a lot of man, it just be crazy how sometimes I really sit back and I think, like, yo, are you serious? Like, are you serious? Like, you really don't know what's the problem, or you really, like, I gotta sit there and use different, I gotta use different metaphors, and I gotta call somebody, or get a second opinion to see if I'm crazy, because we all got somebody we talk to and get advice, about relationships, but that stuff, I'm just over all that stuff. I'm just over all that. I need someone that's understanding. First of all, you gotta understand where I'm coming from. You gotta understand that you need to listen, and that goes for both of us. It's not just a woman thing. It's not like like trying to overpower you, that. And understand that you got that being a woman is not a, being a submissive woman is not a weak thing. It really ain't. It really isn't. It really isn't. Like, being